Hello students, today we are starting with the chapter 12 from our chemistry textbook. This chapter is aldehyde, ketones and carboxylic acid. This is lecture 1 from this chapter. Let's start with the introductory part. Now, the very first thing here is the term carbonyl compounds. What are carbonyl compounds? So, the carbonyl compounds are those compounds which have this C double bond O group. So, the compounds which have this C double bond O group, they are known as the carbonyl compounds. And this C double bond O group is also known as the carbonyl group. That's why these compounds are also known as the carbonyl compounds. And which compounds comes in this category? They are aldehyde, ketones, carboxylic acid and acid derivatives. So, the compounds which are included in this chapter, they are collectively called as the carbonyl compounds. And why they are called so? Due to the presence of this C double bond O group, that is carbonyl group. Now let's see what are the structures of these compounds. In aldehydes, this carbonyl group is attached permanently on one side with the hydrogen atom, whereas on other side it is attached with the either with the carbon atom or with the hydrogen atom. But on one side it will always be the hydrogen atom. Whereas in case of ketones, the carbonyl carbon is attached on both the sides with the carbon atom. That is, the carbonyl carbon is attached on both the sides with the carbon atom. In case of carboxylic acid, on one side there is OH group. Permanently there is OH group. Whereas on other side it can be carbon or hydrogen. This is in case of carboxylic acid. Now, what are acid derivatives? Or we can also call them as derivatives of carboxylic acids. Now, if in the structure of carboxylic acid, this OH group is replaced by other groups, then the compound obtained are known as the derivatives of carboxylic acids. Now, what are these different groups? It can be halogen atom, it can be carboxy group, it can be alkoxy group, it can be amino group. So, if this OH group is replaced by any of these four groups, then we will get the acid derivatives. Now, what are the different acid derivatives? Now, first one is the acid halide. In this OH group is replaced by the halogen atom. In second is amide. In place of OH group, there is NH2 group. In esters, it is OR group, alkoxy group, in place of OH group. And acid anhydride, in place of this OH group, this large group is present and named as carboxy group. So these are the different categories of compound which comes in the category of carbonyl compounds. Now let's move to the nomenclature of aldehyde and ketones. Now, first of all, we see the common names of the aldehydes. The common names of the aldehydes are generally derived from the names of the corresponding carboxylic acid. That is, carboxylic acid having the same number of carbon atoms. For example, in case of this aldehyde, the corresponding, there are two carbon atoms and the two carbon carboxylic acid is having the common name acetic acid. For writing the name of the aldehyde, the ic acid, this portion, this ic acid is replaced by the aldehyde. Then we will get the name of the corresponding aldehyde or this 2 carbon aldehyde. If we write the name common name of this compound, the corresponding carboxylic acid is benzoic acid, and on replacing ic acid with aldehyde, we get the name benzaldehyde. Let's see some more examples. For 1 carbon aldehyde, the corresponding carboxylic acid is formic acid. Now the name becomes formaldehyde. For 3 carbon aldehyde, the corresponding carboxylic acid is propionic acid. It gives propionaldehyde. For this 4 carbon aldehyde, the corresponding carboxylic acid is butyric acid, having 4 carbon atom. In case of this compound, the name of carboxylic acid is protonic acid. This gives rise to the name of aldehyde, protonaldehyde. Now this compound, in this compound, the name of carboxylic acid is cinnamic acid. If we are replacing this ic acid with aldehyde, the name becomes the cinnamaldehyde. And for this compound, the corresponding carboxylic acid is salicylic acid. This is the same compound which you have read earlier in alcohol, phenols and ethers, the previous chapter, during the preparation of aspirin. From this salicylic acid, the name of the aldehyde becomes salicylaldehyde. And in case of this compound, the carboxylic acid is phthalic acid, and the name of this aldehyde becomes phthalaldehyde. Now let's move to the next part, that is IUPAC names of the aldehydes. In case of aliphatic aldehydes, they are named as alkanals, and this alkanal is derived from the name of the corresponding hydrocarbon, that is hydrocarbon having the same number of carbon atom. And how it is derived? By replacing E with al. What is this al? It is suffix in case of aldehyde group. Let's see one example. Here it is 1 carbon aldehyde with 1 carbon atom. Now 1 carbon containing hydrocarbon will be methane. If we replace terminal E with al, then the name becomes methanol. Now we can also name this compound as per the IUPAC rules, in which the root word is having some prefix and suffix attached to it for writing the complete name. The root word is followed by 1 degree suffix and 2 degree suffix. The 1 degree suffix is usually indicates the saturated and unsaturated nature of the carbon chain, and the 2 degree suffix indicates the nature of the functional group. This all you have read in the class 11. Whereas before this word root or root word, we have 1 degree prefix and 2 degree prefix. The 1 degree prefix will show the open chain and cyclic nature of the carbon chain, and 2 degree prefix indicates the nature of the substituent. Now, in case of this compound, there is only 1 carbon atom, so the root word will be the ethane. As the carbon chain is saturated because there is only 1 carbon atom, so there is no question of unsaturation. So we will place 1 degree suffix as ane, and for the aldehyde functional group, we will place al as 2 degree suffix. On combining these 3 parts, the name becomes methanol. The common name of this aldehyde is formaldehyde. Now, while combining these 2 parts, that is 1 degree suffix and 2 degree suffix, if at the end of this part and at the starting of this part there comes the vowel, the first vowel will be neglected. That's why the name becomes methanol. There is no E. In case of this aldehyde with 2 carbon atom, the name becomes, for 2 carbon, the root word is eth, saturated carbon, ane, and al for aldehyde group, the name becomes ethanol, and its common name is acetaldehyde. Now, in case of this compound, there we are applying the different rules for naming of the organic compound one by one. First of all, we are selecting the longest carbon chain. This is the straight carbon chain, which is the longest carbon chain. The straight carbon chain, which is the longest carbon chain. Now, in this compound, the main functional group is aldehyde group. As per the preference order, there are two functional groups, that is double bond and the aldehyde group. Aldehyde group is having the higher preference order, so it is the main functional group. For numbering of the carbon chain, the aldehyde group will be given the smallest number. So we will start from this end: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now, as there is no group as substituent, so the name becomes, for the 5 carbon atoms, the root word is the penta, and for unsaturated nature of the carbon chain, we will place ene, that is double bond. The position of the double bond is 2, it's 2-ene, and for aldehyde group, we will place al. We will not indicate the position of aldehyde group because it is a chain terminating group and it is placed always at the end of the chain. So the name becomes pent-2-ene-al, that is pent-2-enal. This E will be neglected, and for this A, because of this vowel will be neglected. Next, in case of this aromatic aldehyde, the simplest aromatic aldehyde, the name is benzaldehyde, as we have read earlier. And benzaldehyde, this name is both common as well as IUPAC name. It is also named as benzene carbaldehyde. Now, how this carbaldehyde comes? Now, in case of carbon containing functional group, if the carbon atom of the functional group is not included in the main chain, then we will not use the normal suffix for them. Then such groups will be represented by some other suffix. For example, in case of this compound, this carbon of the aldehyde functional group is included in this root word. So we have used al for this functional group. But here the main compound is benzene, and in benzene there are 6 carbon atoms, and it is the 7th carbon atom. So this carbon atom is not included in the benzene word. So that's why we are using a separate suffix for them, that is carbaldehyde. Similarly, for this compound, that is alicyclic compound, the cyclic ring is 6-membered ring, saturated carbon chain, so the name becomes cyclohexane. And for this carbon atom is again not included in this cyclohexane word, that's why it is named as carbaldehyde. For this compound, this methyl group is substituent and is placed at the 2 position because it is main functional group, it is placed at the 1 position. We will start numbering from this position, so it is 1 and 2, so the name becomes 2-methyl benzaldehyde. Its common name is orthotolualdehyde. Now for this compound, there are 2 groups, CHO, that is aldehyde group, and OCS3, alkoxy, that is methoxy group. Methoxy group is a substituent group, so it is placed as prefix. The numbering will be done in this way: 1, 2, 3 and 4. It is given preference because it is the main functional group, that's why the name becomes 4-methoxybenzaldehyde. Now let's see this case. This is a very interesting case. Now here a compound is given in which there are present 3 aldehyde groups. If we start numbering from this carbon atom, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, there will be 5 carbon chain, and the carbon atom of these two functional groups will be included in the main chain. We will write ul for these two functional groups, but for this functional group the carbon atom is not included in this main chain. So what we will do? We will name it as carbaldehyde. No, this will not be suitable. We have to give equal treatment to the all the functional group having the same preference order. So in such cases, as per the IUPAC rules, if there are more than two functional groups, carbon containing functional group, more than two, here 3 groups are there, which are directly attached to the straight carbon chain, this 3 carbon chain with which these 3 functional groups are directly attached. When more than 2 carbon containing functional groups are attached directly to the 3 carbon straight carbon chain, in such cases the straight carbon chain without including the carbon atom of the functional group, the straight carbon chain is taken as the main chain, whereas the carbon atom of all the functional groups are not included in the main chain, and they are indicated by some other suffix. So in this case, this 3 carbon atom carbon chain will be taken as the main chain, and these 3 aldehyde groups will be indicated by other suffix, that is carbaldehyde. For indicating their position, we will number it as 1, 2, 3. We can also number from this side also, that is 1, 2 and 3. So the name becomes, for 3 carbon chain top, and it is saturated carbon chain AN, and there are 3 aldehyde groups, that is tricarbaldehyde, and their position are 1, 2 and 3, that is name placed before this tricarbaldehyde. So the name becomes propane 1, 2, 3 tricarbaldehyde. Now let us see this example. In this case there are 3 aldehyde groups, but the condition is different from this position, this case. What is that? This aldehyde group is not directly attached with the straight carbon chain. In such cases, the rule says you will take the longest carbon chain and the group which is left out of the carbon chain will be treated as the substituent. So in this case, this 5 carbon chain, we can also take it as this chain also as the main carbon chain, or this chain as the main carbon chain, because all of them are of the same length. So there are 5 carbon chain, and these 2 functional groups are taken as the main functional group, and this functional group will be taken as the substituent. Now how we can write the name of this compound? Yes, first of all we will discuss the name of this functional substituent. Let's see, in this CHO group it is taken as the substituent, and when the CHO group is taken as the substituent, its carbon is not included in the main chain and it is indicated as the formyl. So this CHO group will be formyl, and it is placed on this CH2 group, and this CH2 group is substituent on this carbon chain. As this is a this a 1 carbon atom substituent, and this 1 carbon atom substituent is named as the methyl, and this aldehyde group is placed on this methyl group, so the name becomes formyl methyl, and this is a complex substituent, that's why its name is written within brackets. Now numbering of carbon chain can be done from any side because it gives the same number to this complex substituent 3. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3. So writing the name 3 within bracket formyl methyl, as the carbon chain is of 5 carbon atom, pent, saccharide AN, and at the 1 and 5 position there are 2 aldehyde group, diol, 1,5 diol. The name becomes 3-formyl methyl pentane 1,5 diol. Next is nomenclature of ketones. Now, first of all, we will take up the common names of ketone. In common system, the ketones are named by placing the names of the two alkyl or aryl groups attached to the carbon group in alphabetical order before the suffix ketone. So for writing the names of this ketone, they are named by placing the two alkyl group present on this carbon group in the alphabetical order before the suffix ketone. Let's take this example. On this carbon group, there are present two methyl groups. So we will place the names of the two alkyl group present on this carbon group before the suffix ketone. This suffix ketone is indicating the C double bond O group, and the names of the two alkyl group will be placed before this suffix ketone. As the two groups are same groups, that is methyl group, so the name becomes dimethyl ketone. It is also known as acetone, a very important name. Next, in this case, in this C double bond O group, there are present one ethyl group and one methyl group. Keeping the alphabetical order, the ethyl will come first, so the name becomes ethyl methyl ketone. Regarding the name of alkyl phenyl ketones, that is the ketones in which the C double bond O group is having one alkyl group and one phenyl group. Phenyl group means benzene ring. They are also named as phenones. That is, they are named by adding the suffix that is, these alkyl phenyl ketones are named by adding the name of the acyl group as prefix to the phenone. For example, in this case, it is named as phenone by writing the name of the acyl group before it. So here the acyl group is C double bond O CH3. It is named as aceto group, so the name becomes acetophenone, and this is also taken as the IUPAC name. It is a common name, and IUPAC has also taken this as IUPAC name for this compound. And as per the above system, its name is also methyl phenyl ketone, because on C double bond O group there is one phenyl group and one methyl group, so the name becomes methyl phenyl ketone. In this case, there is one ethyl group and phenyl group. Alphabetically, ethyl will come first, so the name becomes ethyl phenyl ketone. It is also named as propiophenone. Here the acyl group is this propio group, that is, the name becomes propiophenone. In this case, the acyl group is benzo group, so the name becomes benzophenone. And in this case, both the groups on this C double bond O group are the phenyl group, that's why the name becomes diphenyl ketone. In the IUPAC system, the aliphatic ketones are named as alkanones. That is, the terminal E of the name of the alkane is replaced by -one. Why -one? Because in case of ketonic group, the suffix is -one, O-N-E. For example, in case of this 3-carbon ketone, the name becomes the 3-carbon alkane will be propane, and replacing the terminal E with -one, the name becomes propanone. We can also understood as That is, for the 3 carbon chain, the root word is prop and the carbon chain is saturated, so it will be ane, and for this ketonic group the suffix will be on, that is 2 degree suffix, so the name becomes propanone. At both these positions there are vowels, so this vowel will be neglected. In this case there are 4 carbon atoms in the carbon chain, so the root word is buta. For the saturated carbon chain, ane, and for the suffix for this keto group the suffix will be on, so the name becomes butanone. Next, in this case there are 5 carbon atoms. For 5 carbon atoms the root word is penta, and as the chain is saturated, so the 1 degree suffix will be ane, and for functional group it is on. Here the position of the functional group will also be shown. So for this we will number the carbon chain as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from this side, because it gives smallest number to the functional group. So the name becomes pentane 2-one. As we have discussed earlier, that at these 2 positions, if there are vowels, then the first vowel will be neglected. So the name becomes pentane 2-one. Here also this E is neglected because of this vowel. Now the question arises, why we have not shown the position of ketonic group here and here? Because in both the cases there is no need to show the position of the ketonic group, because there is no other position possible. In this case, if we place ketonic group at this position, it is again the 2 position from this side, and in this case it is no other position possible for the ketonic group. So in both the cases we have not shown the position of the ketonic group, whereas in this case if we place C double bond O at this position, one more structure is possible. So to show the position of the ketonic group, we have numbered this carbon chain and the name becomes pentane 2-one. Let's move to the next topic. Here we have discussed some structures of compounds. Now first, in this compound we have to write the IUPAC name for all of these compounds, and while writing the IUPAC name, the first step is the selection of the main chain. Here the straight carbon chain is the longest carbon chain, it is the main chain, it is including all the functional group, and it is the longest carbon chain. There are 2 functions, then it will be the selection of the main functional group. There are 2 functional groups, ketonic group and aldehyde group. As per the preference order, the aldehyde group will have the higher priority. Then it is the numbering of the carbon chain. The numbering of the carbon chain will be done in such a way that it will give smallest number to the main functional group. So it will be done from this side, because aldehyde is a chain terminating group, it will always be at the end. So we will start from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the name of the compound will be, this ketonic group will be treated as the substituent, and for it the prefix will be oxo. As it is at the 3rd position, it will be 3-oxo, 5 carbon chain, penta, and saturated ane, and for this aldehyde, al. No need to show the position of the aldehyde group, it is always at the first position. So the name becomes 3-oxopentanal. Here it is a alicyclic compound. Now in this case there is only one main functional group, that is keto group. This CS3 is a substituent. Now the main chain will be this alicyclic ring. For numbering this chain, we will give first position to the ketonic group as it is a main functional group. So the name becomes this methyl group as substituent at the 2 position 2-methyl. Carbon chain is cyclic, cyclo, that is 1 degree prefix. Then root word hex, and the carbon chain is saturated, so it will be AN. For the ketonic group, the suffix will be -one. So the name becomes 2-methyl cyclohexanone. Now in this case, in such cases where the groups are mentioned in this way, that they are collectively mentioned, so the first step will be to write the complete structure, elaborated structure of the compound. Here this CH3 twice means there are 2 CH3 group on this carbon atom. So I have shown this structure as this. Now this is C double bond O, and this CO means ketonic group, C double bond O group and CH3. So here there are 2 functional group, that is ketonic group and the double bond. As per the preference order, it is a main functional group, it is the longest carbon chain. Then the numbering of the carbon chain, it is done from this side to give smallest number to the ketonic group. So the name becomes, it is a substituent at the 4 position 4-methyl. For the 5 carbon chain, penta, unsaturated. Carbon chain is unsaturated, so the 1 degree suffix will be -ene. At the 3 position, so it is 3-ene. And for ketonic group, -one. We have to show its position in the 5 carbon ketone. We have to show the position of the -one, that is ketonic group. So it is 2-one. So the name becomes 4-methyl pent 3-ene 2-one. You can easily consider that how the vowels are neglected from these 2 positions and from these 2 positions. Now let's see the next compound, CH3, C double bond O, CH2, CO, CH3. Both these C double bond O group is in between the neighboring 2 carbon atoms, so they are the ketonic group. Next, this is the structure for this compound. Straight carbon chain is the main chain. There is no substituent, only 2 main functional group, that is ketonic group. Regarding the numbering of the carbon chain, it can be done from any of the 2 sides, from this side and from this side. Same number to these functional group, that is 2 and 4, from this side also and from this side also. So the name becomes, for the 5 carbon chain, penta, saturated, AN, and for the 2 ketonic group, it will be dione, and their position are 2 and 4. So the name becomes pentane 2,4-dione. In this case, yes, here the compound is C6H4, and there are 2 CHO groups and 1 P is also written here. What does P means? First of all, what is this C6H4? You all know C6H6 is benzene ring with 6 carbon atom and 6 hydrogen atom, unsubstituted benzene ring. So the C6H6 means unsubstituted benzene ring, and if it is C6H5, then it is mono-substituted benzene ring, that in which one hydrogen is replaced by some other group. And if it is C6H4, then it is di-substituted benzene ring. So here C6H4 means there are 2 substituents present on the benzene ring, 2 groups, and these 2 groups are the CHO and CHO, both the CHO group, and what are their position? If there are 2 groups on the benzene ring, if there are two groups on the benzene ring, then we have to show their position. They can have three different positions. They can be ortho with respect to each other, they can be meta with respect to each other, they can be para with respect to, and para means they are just opposite to each other. So here P means para, and it indicates that both the CHO group are present opposite to each other. So the main compound will be benzene, and as the carbon atom of the functional group is not included in the main chain, so the name becomes benzene 1,4-dicarbonaldehyde. The carbon atom is not included in the benzene, that's why they are named as the dicarbonaldehyde. There are two CHO groups, so it is dicarbonaldehyde, benzene 1,4-dicarbonaldehyde. Next, a very important part from this chapter. Students, in this chapter, the IUPAC nomenclature is one very important part. It always carry 1 to 2 marks in the board question paper. So the nomenclature is very much important from this chapter. The question can be asked in both the ways. You have to write down the IUPAC name of the compound, or you can also be asked to write the structure for a given name. So here I am discussing some questions in which you have to write down the structure for the given name. One name given here is 3-hydroxybutanol. In all such cases where you have to write down the structure of the given compound, you first locate the root word. Root word here is but. But means 4 carbon atom. Write 4C, 4 carbon atom. C, and these 4 carbon atom without any other hydrogen atom or any other group, and then number them 1, 2, 3, 4 from any side. Then look at the name, what are the substituent present and what are the main functional group present here. There is 3-hydroxy, that is hydroxy group as substituent. So at 3 carbon atom we will place OH group as the substituent, and it is butanol, that is saturated carbon chain, no double bond, no triple bond, only single bond, and al means aldehyde, and aldehyde is always at the terminal position, that is first position if it is main functional group. So at first position we will place the aldehyde group, and rest other valencies will be covered with the hydrogen. So here there will be 2 hydrogen atom, 1 hydrogen atom, and here 3 hydrogen atom. Let's see the next compound, X2N4 ionoic acid. In this case, first see the root word is hex. Write 6 carbon atom in the straight chain and number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now there is no substituent. Now let's see 2 degree and 1 degree suffix, what are they? Here it is N as well as ion. So N indicates double bond and ion indicates triple bond. So this carbon chain contains both double and triple bond. At 2 position, at 2nd position it is a double bond, and at 4th position it is a triple bond. So place double bond here and triple bond here. And oic acid means the carboxyl group. So at the first position, carboxyl group is also a chain terminating group. So at the first position you will place the COOH group, and rest cover the valencies with the hydrogen atom. Next compound is para-dash dihydroxy benzophenone. Now what is this? Para and para with a dash. What does this indicate? The basic compound is benzophenone. First of all, we will write down the structure of the benzophenone. And in case of benzophenone, there are 2 benzene rings. And if both the benzene rings is having some groups attached to them, how can we show the position? By simply numbering. So if we will number, in this case the numbering will be done from the carbon atom which is closer to the functional group, from this position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then how can we differentiate between the 2 positions? In such case, the position of the groups in both the rings, they are differentiated with this mark. In one case it will be simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and other case it will be 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash. So here para dash means that there are two groups on both the rings and they are at the para position with respect to this C double bond O group. Dihydroxy means OH group, 2 OH group, they are at the para position. So just opposite to this C double bond O group, there is one OH group and there is also one OH group opposite to this C double bond O group in this ring also. Here it is para and it is para dash. Next, 4-methyl pent 3 in 2-one. Again in this case you will see, first look at the root word 5 carbon, pent 5 carbon atom. Just write this 5 carbon atom in the straight carbon chain, number them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place the 4-methyl, that is substituent, at the 4 position, 3 in, at the 3 position it will be a double bond, and at the 2 position it is a ketonic group on for the ketone, this, and cover the valencies with the hydrogen. Now with this we have finished the nomenclature part of the aldehyde and ketones. Next move on to next part, that is structure of carbonyl group. So let's begin with the next topic, that is structure of carbonyl group. What is the structure of this carbonyl group? The C double bond O group in aldehyde and ketones. Here I am discussing only the aldehyde and ketones and not the carboxylic acid and their derivatives, because in this chapter, although we are having both the type of compound, that is aldehyde ketones as well as carboxylic acid, but first we will discuss the aldehyde ketone part. Then we will discuss separately the carboxyl part. Next, regarding the structure of carbonyl group, in case of aldehydes and ketones, the C double bond O group in aldehyde and ketones is made up of 1 sigma and 1 pi bond, just like the double bond in alkenes. And you already know that double bond is always consisting of 1 sigma bond and 1 pi bond. Now how this sigma and pi bond is formed in case of C double bond O group, that is carbonyl group. Here it is the carbonyl carbon and it is the oxygen of the carbonyl group. This carbon atom, as it is making only the 3 sigma bond, 1, 2 and 3. So its hybridization will be sp3, sp2, because it has to form only the 3 sigma bond. If there are 4 sigma bond, then the hybridization will be sp3. And for the formation of 1 pi bond, there is unhybridized p orbital. We have named it as 2pz. This oxygen atom, it is unhybridized because it is forming only 1 sigma bond. So 1 p orbital is forming the pi bond, sorry, sigma bond, and the other p orbital is forming the pi bond with this carbon atom. So in this way, double bond is formed between the carbon and oxygen of the carbon group. The carbon atom is sp2 hybridized, is forming the 3 sigma bond, and 1 unhybridized p orbital is present. Similarly, in case of oxygen, as you know, oxygen is having 2 half-filled orbitals. One half-filled p orbital is forming the sigma bond, and other half-filled p orbital is overlapping sidewise with this p orbital and forming the pi bond. So, as we know that in case of pi bond formation, the overlapping take place at 2 positions, above and below the plane. So, the electron cloud is also divided into 2 parts, that is above and below the plane. Now, what is this? Because oxygen is, the shape of the electron cloud is somewhat different, This is because the oxygen is more electronegative as compared to carbon, so it will attract the electron cloud more towards itself. So the electron density shifts more towards the oxygen as compared to carbon. As a result, this C double bond O group is polar in nature due to the difference of electronegativity with partial negative charge on oxygen atom and partial positive charge on carbon atom. So, in case of carbon compounds, the carbon oxygen double bond is formed and is consisting of sigma and pi bond, and due to the difference in electronegativity of carbon and oxygen, the C double bond O group is a polar group or polar bond. The oxygen atom is having partial negative charge and the carbon atom is having the partial positive charge. Now this structure leads to some important conclusions. Let's see one by one. First, carbon oxygen double bond in aldehyde ketones is polar in nature. Just we have seen here, it is polar in nature due to the difference of electronegativity. Hence, this result in large dipole moment of aldehyde ketones, and because of this polar C double bond O group, the compound will also be polar. It is having large dipole moment of 2.3 to 2.8 dBi. D stands here for the dBi, that is the unit for dipole moment. The high polarity is also explained on the basis of resonance. This carbon group is also showing the resonance. In this way, double bond moves to this oxygen atom and giving rise to this structure, although this structure is quite unstable because the carbon atom is not having the complete octet, but this structure is somewhat responsible for the polar nature of the C double bond O group, as the oxygen atom is having the complete negative charge and the carbon atom is having the positive charge. That's why it is responsible for it is simply supporting the polar nature of the carbon group. Next, and this polar nature of the carbon group is highly influencing the properties of this aldehyde ketones as well as their physical properties. Next, the carbon atom of the carbon group in aldehydes have partial positive charge, just we have shown here. Therefore, these compounds undergo nucleophilic addition reaction. This is just opposite to the alkenes, in which double bond is non-polar and they undergo electrophilic addition reaction. Now let's see what is it. Here it is written. Now this carbon compound, that is aldehyde ketones, they are having this double bond, and due to the presence of double bond there is unsaturation, and the unsaturated compound will always show addition reaction because of this double bond. The alkenes are also having the double bond, C double bond, C bond, so they will also show the addition reaction. Now, but these two compounds are showing the different types of addition reaction. The aldehyde ketones are showing the nucleophilic addition reaction, whereas the alkenes, they are showing the electrophilic addition reaction. Why this is so? Because in this case of aldehyde ketones, the C double bond O group is polar in nature with the positive charge on the carbon atom, and because of this positive charge, the nucleophile can easily attack on this carbon atom. That's why the addition reaction will be initiated by the nucleophile. That's why the aldehyde ketones are showing the nucleophilic addition reaction, whereas in case of alkenes, the double bond is completely non-polar. If in case of, that is, I am talking of alkenes, at both the position there are carbon atom, and due to same electronegativity, in case of alkenes, I am talking of alkenes. In case of alkenes, both the atoms will be carbon atom and they are having the same electronegativity, and due to same electronegativity, the bond is completely non-polar, and due to absence of any positive or negative, any positive charge, the nucleophile is not able to attack the double bond. So only the electrophile can initiate the reaction. That's why they undergo electrophilic addition reaction. Let's see the next part. Yes. Now we are starting with the method preparation of aldehyde ketones. How can we prepare the aldehyde and ketones? What are the different methods for the preparation of aldehyde and ketones? In this portion, we will study the different methods for this, but the different methods are divided into three categories. First, we will study those methods in which both aldehydes as well as ketones they can be prepared. Then we will take up the method of preparation of aldehydes only, that those methods which give aldehydes as the product. And in the last, we will study those methods which will give ketones only, that those methods which are responsible for the preparation of ketones only. No aldehyde will be formed in that case. Now let's start with the first part, that is method of preparation of aldehyde and ketones. Here there are methods which give both the types of compounds, that is aldehydes as well as ketones. First, by the oxidation of alcohols. Regarding the oxidation and reduction, I have made a chart here. From that you can see the sequence. For the sequence, if we oxidize the hydrocarbon part, it will first of all convert into alcohol. On further oxidation, it will convert into aldehyde. On further oxidation, it will convert into carboxylic acid. In the carboxylic acid, the oxidation state of the carbon atom is +3, and the highest oxidation state of carbon atom is +4 in carbon dioxide. So if the carboxylic acid is further oxidized, it will form the carbon dioxide. So if the hydrocarbon is completely oxidized, and that happens only when it is burnt, it is completely oxidized, then the end product will be the carbon dioxide. So reverse will be the sequence. We will get the carboxylic acid, then on further reduction it will give us the aldehyde ketones, on further reduction alcohols, and on complete reduction it will give us the hydrocarbon. The condition will be different. You have to use different reagent for these process, but this is a simple chart. Now we have to prepare the aldehyde ketones. How can we prepare? From alcohols by their oxidation, and from carboxylic acid by their reduction. So let's see. Here we are discussing the method of oxidation of alcohols. Now how the oxidation of alcohols is carried out. For the oxidation, we will use the oxidizing agent. If we use 1 degree alcohol, then we will get the carboxylic acid as the product, and if we use 2 degree alcohol, we will get the ketone. So in this case, we are getting carboxylic acid instead of aldehyde. Why this is so? So the different oxidizing agents which are useful for this process in this case are K2Cr2 by H2SO4, that is acidified K2Cr2 potassium dichromate. It is acidified KMnO4, and it is acidified chromium trioxide or chromic anhydride. In aqueous acetone, it is known as the Jones reagent. All these three reagents are strong oxidizing agents, and because of this, they simply convert 1 degree alcohol into carboxylic acid. Now let's see how this happens. In case of 1 degree alcohol, when they are oxidized by these oxidizing agents, I have written here the recent oxygen, it will oxidize this alcohol into aldehyde. But here aldehyde is unstable. Now why it is unstable? Because aldehyde is having this CH bond, and this CH bond is quite weak, and this CH bond is readily converted into, it can be easily converted into the OH group, even with the help of mild oxidizing agent, and here we have used the strong oxidizing agent. So in the presence of strong oxidizing agent, the aldehyde will not be formed. Aldehyde will not be stable. It will readily convert into the carboxylic acid as soon as it is formed. So in case of 1 degree alcohol, you will get the direct product, that is the carboxylic acid instead of aldehyde. Whereas in case of ketone, if we use the same reagent, in case of 2 degree alcohol, if we use the same reagent, then we get the ketones. Now why not the carboxylic acids are obtained in this case? Because if we write down the structure of carboxylic acid from this ketone, on this C double bond O group, there must be some OH group also for the formation of carboxylic acid. And for the formation of this OH group at this position, we have to break this carbon-carbon bond. And this carbon-carbon bond is quite strong. That's why these strong oxidizing agent under this condition cannot further oxidize this ketone into carboxylic acid. So we will get the ketones from 2 degree alcohols. Regarding the writing of this equation, we can simply understood it as so for writing this equation, we can easily understood it as this oxygen atom will remove the hydrogen atom from this alcohol, and the loss of hydrogen is also known as the oxidation. We can simply understood it as, that is, from this and from this position, one hydrogen atom is removed along with this oxygen in the form of water, leaving one free valency here and one free valency here, and that will result in the formation of double bond. So with this oxygen, remove one hydrogen from this position and one hydrogen from this position, you will get the aldehyde. And for this conversion, simply the nascent oxygen will be inserted into this bond, and we will write this structure, that is carboxylic acid. In this case, with this nascent oxygen, remove one hydrogen atom from this position and one hydrogen atom from this position, you will get this structure. In this way, you can easily write down the equation. Next, is 3 degree alcohol. We have seen that in case of 1 degree alcohol, we get the carboxylic acid as the product by using the different oxidizing agent, and in case of 2 degree alcohol, we get the ketones as the product. But what happens if we use 3 degree alcohol? If we use all those reagents, that is acidified KMnO4, acidified potassium dichromate, and Jones reagent, that is acidified chromium trioxide CrO3, then no reaction will take place under the normal condition, यानी कि नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर और प्रेशर पर कोई रिएक्शन नहीं होगा. But under drastic condition, that is at high temperature, they will get oxidized to give a mixture of carboxylic acid. Now how this happens? Under high temperature, loss of water take place from these two positions, that is the carbon atom will lose the OH group and the neighboring carbon atom will lose the hydrogen atom. The water will be lost and leading to the formation of double bond here. A double bond is formed. and this double bond is further oxidized by these reagents to give the carboxylic acids. So in case of 3 degree alcohol, normally the oxidizing agent will not oxidize it further, but under drastic condition it will give us the mixture of different carboxylic acids. And how this happens? First, the loss of water take place as OH group from this position and hydrogen atom from this position will be lost, leading to the formation of double bond, and then double bond is oxidized to give the mixture of different carboxylic acid. Now can you guess why the reaction does not take place at the room temperature? Why they are not acting, oxidizing this compound, just like in case of 1 degree and 2 degree alcohols? For the oxidation in 1 degree and 2 degree alcohol, what happens? We have removed hydrogen from this oxygen atom and hydrogen atom from this carbon atom. But in case of 3 degree alcohol, there is no hydrogen atom on this carbon atom. So due to the absence of hydrogen atom at this carbon atom, the oxidation will not take place easily. So the above oxidizing agent which we have discussed in case of 1 degree and 2 degree alcohols, they will not work under normal condition to oxidize this alcohol, 3 degree alcohol, due to the absence of this hydrogen atom. So in case of 3 degree alcohol, if we carry out the oxidation under drastic condition, that is at a very high temperature, then this compound will undergo carbon-carbon bond cleavage, that this CC bond will undergo breaking to give the mixture of 2 carboxylic acids. Let us see one example here. It is a 3 degree alcohol. The OH group is present on this carbon atom, which is further attached to 3 carbon atom. Now first oxidation, during oxidation under drastic condition, the loss of water take place, and the loss of water take place from as OH group from this carbon atom and hydrogen atom from this carbon atom. Now can you judge that why the hydrogen atom is removed from this carbon atom, not from this and this carbon atom? Why this product is obtained, not the product with the double bond at this position and this position? This is because this alkene is more stable as compared to the other alkenes. Because in case of alkenes, more alkylated the alkene, more stable it is. That is the alkene with more number of alkyl group on double bonded carbon atom. जो डबल बॉन्डेड कार्बन एटम है, अगर उनके ऊपर ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ अल्काइल ग्रुप हैं तो वो एल्कीन ज़्यादा स्टेबल होगी. तो देखें, अगर डबल बॉन्ड इस पोजीशन पे होता तो डबल बॉन्डेड कार्बन एटम ये होता और ये होता, और इनके ऊपर एल्काइल ग्रुप कौन कौन से होते हैं? 1, 2 और 3. ये 3 एल्काइल ग्रुप जैसे यहाँ पर बनेंगे. और यही डबल बॉन्ड अगर यहाँ पर होता तो डबल बॉन्डेड कार्बन एटम कौन कौन से होते हैं? 1 और 2. और एल्काइल ग्रुप कौन से होते हैं? 1 और ये पूरा दूसरा. 2 ही एल्काइल ग्रुप होते हैं, मगर यहाँ पर 3 है, तो ये एल्कीन ज़्यादा स्टेबल है, यही फॉर्म होगी. और फिर क्या होगा? हम फर्दर ऑक्सीडेशन करेंगे तो ये डबल बॉन्ड टूट जाएगा और आपको क्या मिलेगा? इधर भी डबल बॉन्ड हो, इधर भी डबल बॉन्ड हो. तो ये मिल गया आपके पास. हाँ जी, कीटोन की फर्दर ऑक्सीडेशन इजीली पॉसिबल नहीं है, ये ऑक्सीडाइज नहीं होगा. और यहाँ पर क्या हुआ है? ये एल्डिहाइड बना, दैट इज सी डबल बॉन्ड ओ. जब अपने इस पर प्लेस किया तो क्या बना? सी डबल बॉन्ड ओ और एच. तो एल्डिहाइड बना, और एल्डिहाइड आपको पता है बड़ी जल्दी ऑक्सीडाइज हो जाते हैं. तो एल्डिहाइड ने फर्दर ऑक्सीडाइज होकर क्या दे दिया आपको? CH3 सी डबल बॉन्ड OH. CH3 सी डबल बॉन्ड O, and this CH bond is converted into COH. You will get the carboxylic acid. What is the name of this carboxylic acid? That is 2-carbon carboxylic acid, ethanoic acid. What is the name of this compound? This 3-carbon ketone, propanone, and common name acetone. You should revise these names, as these names are included in every question. Next, But if we want to oxidize the 1 degree alcohol to aldehyde only, then we have to use some specific reagent. Now the question arises that we have noticed here that we can convert alcohol into ketones, but there is no possibility that we can convert alcohol into aldehyde, because if we want to convert 1 degree alcohol into aldehyde, it will give carboxylic acid with the reagents. Now for the conversion of 1 degree alcohol into aldehyde, we have some specific reagent. These reagents are mild reagents. These are mild oxidizing agent, weak oxidizing agent. They can easily oxidize the 1 degree alcohol to oxidize on aldehyde only, and not further to the carboxylic acid. What are these different reagents? One is PCC. It is pyridinium chlorochromate. This is the composition. It is pyridine C6H5N. This is heterocyclic aromatic compound C6H5N, and on this N, if we place hydrogen, it gets positively charged. It is pyridinium and chlorochromate in CH2Cl2, and this CH2Cl2 is medium here. In case of PDC, the second reagent is PDC, pyridinium dichromate. Pyridinium dichromate. The pyridinium group is this, the same group. This is dichromate ion. As per the 2 negative charge, there must be 2 pyridinium group to balance the charge. So it is pyridinium dichromate. Have you understood the pyridinium group? Pyridinium group is made from pyridine after its protonation. What is pyridine? Pyridine is simply a compound, this 6-membered ring compound. At one position, instead of carbon, we have nitrogen. 3 double bond, just like benzene. This is pyridine, and if we place one H atom, positive ion on it, it will be pyridinium. So here the dichromate ion is Cr2O72 negative. To balance the charge, there must be 2 pyridinium group. So it is pyridinium dichromate. Next, Collins reagent. Now what is Collins reagent? 1:2 complex of CrO3 and pyridine in CH2Cl2. CH2Cl2 again here is the medium. These are the 3 1:2 complex. That is, one part is this and 2 part is this. Next, now these complexes contain the same CrO3, which is included in these reagent also. Here we have discussed the different reagents. Yes, here there are 3 different oxidizing agents for the oxidation of alcohols. That is acidified potassium dichromate, acidified KMnO4, and Jones reagent. This Jones reagent is also using the CrO3, and this CrO3 is also here in these reagents. PCC CrO3, here CrO3. Now why CrO3 is behaving differently in this case? That is because of this medium, non-aqueous medium. So because CrO3 is used in non-aqueous medium, that's why it is behaving in this way. So if we use water as medium in this case also, instead of CH2Cl2, the same thing will happen, because the mixture of CrO3 and water will also give us the chromic acid, and the chromic acid is also obtained from acidified CrO3. The same oxidizing agent will behave as the strong oxidizing agent, and that will convert the 1 degree alcohol again into carboxylic acid. So because the difference in the medium, they are behaving differently. Let's see. Yes, this is 1 degree alcohol on oxidation with PCC in CH2Cl2. there will be loss of water molecule. As I have said earlier, that this oxygen will be taking away the one hydrogen from this position, one hydrogen from this position. The valencies will be satisfied by the formation of double bond, and aldehyde group is formed. So here, due to the presence of specific reagent, that is PCC, pyridinium chlorochromate, we will get the aldehyde. Here the selectivity in oxidation occurs because these reagents are used under anhydrous condition. Anhydrous means that in the absence of water. Further, these reagent does not attack the double bond, which remain unaffected during the oxidation. Meaning thereby the reagent which we have discussed above, they do not oxidize the double bond. Double bond को oxidize नहीं करेंगे, just like which is easily oxidized by this acidified KMnO4. They will not oxidize these reagents PCC, PDC. They will not oxidize the double bond. So the double bond will remain unaffected. That's why these reagents can be safely used only in case of those compound also which have the double bond. So just like I have written one compound here, that is OH group is present here, and double bond is also present. As this OH group is present on this carbon atom, which is further attached to 2 carbon atom, which is a 2-degree alcohol, and on oxidation it will give us the ketone. If we use the PCC, the double bond will remain unaffected, so the OH group will convert into the ketone. So here, and the 2-degree alcohol is converted into ketone. You will say one thing here, that we have said in the above lines that 1-degree alcohol is converted into aldehyde with the help of PCC. But here one thing should also be noted, that PCC will convert 1-degree alcohol into aldehyde safely without further oxidation. They will also convert 2-degree alcohol into ketone. Further oxidation will again not take place. Further oxidation also not easily possible in case of ketone, and these reagents are also mild. They cannot further oxidize the ketone into carboxylic acid. That's why we can use this PCC, PDC or Collins reagent for the conversion of 1-degree alcohol and 2-degree alcohol into the aldehyde and ketones respectively. Now I have discussed one question here, that is, it is 12.17 question from your exercise. This 10th part of that question, you have to convert this compound into aldehyde, this double bond containing compound into aldehyde. Now how can we convert this double bond containing compound into aldehyde? If we use this strong oxidizing agent, it will oxidize this double bond. So for the conversion of this compound into aldehyde, we have to generate here alcoholic group on this carbon atom. If the OH group is at this carbon atom, then it will be 1-degree alcohol, and 1-degree alcohol will be easily converted into the aldehyde with the help of PCC. So how we can convert this compound into 1-degree alcohol? For this we have used the reagent hydroboration. Use the reaction, that is hydroboration oxidation. Again from the previous chapter, that is alcohol, phenols and ether, during the oxidation of alkenes, which lead to the formation of alcohols according to the anti-Markovnikov rule. So here hydroboration oxidation, this C bond, it will get oxidized to give us the alcohol. So here I have said that the oxidation, so the addition of this diborane on this double bond will take place according to the anti-Markovnikov rule. If we see this conversion from this compound to this compound, what do we conclude? If this compound is converted into this compound, that is the last one, during this conversion there is addition of OH group at this position and hydrogen at this position. So there is net addition of H and OH, that is water. So this reaction is complete hydration of water, hydration of alkene. So the hydration of alkene take place through this reaction, that is hydrobolation oxidation. Now this alkene is unsymmetrical. Here there are two hydrogen atoms. Here this carbon atom is attached to two carbon atom. This double bond carbon atom is further attached to two carbon atom. Unsymmetrical alkene. In case of unsymmetrical alkene, when the unsymmetrical reagent is added, the addition takes place according to the Markovnikov's rule. Hydrogen will go to that carbon atom which is already having hydrogen, more hydrogen. So the hydrogen atom of water molecule will go to this carbon atom and the OH to this carbon atom. But here the opposite thing takes place. Instead of hydrogen, there will be OH group. That is, according to the Markovnikov's addition, the hydrogen will go to this carbon atom, already having more number of hydrogen atom, and OH at this carbon atom. But hydrobolation oxidation is that method of hydration of alkene in which the addition takes place according to the anti-Markovnikov's rule. You see, in the first step, this product is obtained. In this product, the half B2S6, that is BH3, is added on this double bond. How? The boron is attached to this carbon atom and the hydrogen atom goes to this carbon atom. So in the first step, in the very first step, during this hydrobolation oxidation, the addition of hydrogen takes place to this carbon atom. That's why the addition takes place according to the anti-Markovnikov's rule. In the next step, that is oxidation, is carried out by hydrogen peroxide in basic medium. These three bonds will be broken. These three bonds will be broken, and we will get the BOH thrice and OH at this position also at this compound. As it is a 1 degree alcohol, on treatment with PCC and CH2Cl2, it will be converted to aldehyde. So during this conversion, we have used the reaction of hydrobolation oxidation from the previous chapter, and hydrobolation oxidation is the method of hydration of alkene in which the addition of water takes place against the Markovnikov's rule. Hydrogen atom goes to that carbon atom which is already having lesser number of hydrogen. Next, there is one more part from the same question. Find the reagent in this conversion. That you have to convert alcohol into ketone. What is the reagent for this reaction? Because you have to convert 2 degree alcohol into ketone, you can use mild oxidizing agent as well as a strong oxidizing agent, because the further oxidation is not possible in case of ketones. So with this, we finishes the first lecture of our chapter covering the nomenclature of aldehyde and ketones and the method of preparation of aldehyde and ketones both. That is, those reactions which includes the formation of both aldehyde as well as ketones.